Welcome back to You're So Fucking Enlightened, a not so serious approach to all things spiritual.
Yes.
And we are so
fucking happy you are here.
Woo!
I'm Jeanie Baker.
I'm Robbin Webb, two B's in both names. Thank you for being here with us today.
Yes.
We got some exciting, fun things. Today's going to talk about joy, rain, sunshine,
and rain. Give it to me now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Just two white girls trying to be soulful.
All day.
All right.
So about what is joy and ways that you can motherfucking get you some joy.
Yeah, but
I am working towards my dual citizenship in Italy and moving those motherfucking obstacles as hard as I can.
what did you just do this week? Do you want to share that?
What did I do this week? I feel like I've done so much.
You did a major thing this week. One major thing you did yesterday morning, if you want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I booked my motherfucking ticket to Italy.
Biggest thing.
May 3rd, I leave. It was like another. I've had a dream, y'all, to live in Italy since I was 19. And so my family on my mother's side comes from Italy. And so this is another step, an action step yesterday to make my dreams come motherfucking true.
Prego.
Hey, say, and you?
Oh, what's going on? Well, first of all, I know it's lame to talk about the weather, but to me, the weather is a big deal. So it's finally like sunshiny and I'm so happy. And it's like starting to warm up a little bit. It's still only in the 60s here in Florida and the Tampa area, but it's sunny. And when it's sunny in Florida, it warms up pretty well. So yeah, I'm happy for that.
It makes your heart joyful.
Makes my heart joyful. And I just got off a podcast. I'm going to be on my friend Lisa's podcast. It's called Free Flowing Health. I don't know when that will be released, probably in April or May sometime. And I got to talk about my new business venture because it's going to be released after I launch that.
I love that.
So this will not be released after I launch that, so I can't quite talk about it yet, but it's coming up. It'll be really, really soon. I'm really excited.
I'm excited.
So I've been working a lot on that. That has been like one of my major focuses right now, and it is bringing me joy to not pain.
So let's get into the motherfucking joy.
Yeah, let's do it.
I would like to share each of our journeys about joy.
All right.
Can I start?
Okay. No, because I just talked about my journey and I need a little break.
Okay,
then talk about your journey.
So it's interesting, I feel, about joy. I feel like a lot of times as we get older and we start, working in different ways, having families, making money, doing all of the modern society requests, right?
Yeah.
That we lose joy. And I was one of those people that lost joy.
Yeah.
I probably had a good decade where there was no joy happening. And that was probably from about 1998, 1999 until 2007. So almost a decade.
That's a long time.
That was a long fucking time. And I was unaware that I was living without joy. I was so deep in my hamster and so disconnected from my feelings that I was unaware of the lack. Well, it wasn't even the lack of joy, the disconnect of joy.
Okay. But can I just pause for a second and ask you a quick question? And you might be getting ready to get into this, but something that we wanted to talk about anyway was, would you say that you were unhappy?
Yes.
You
Fucking
were-
unhappy.
Okay.
Fucking unhappy. And that also means, right, like state of unhappiness, disconnected, 100%. And also, like, was I still going out with some girlfriends and, you know, my husband and like having, yes, and having fun for sure.
Yeah.
But fucking joy, no.
Yeah.
And so one day in 2007, on my way to work, I found a yellow lab on the side of the road in a ditch.
Mm-hmm.
Emaciated, pregnant, all of these things. And what I learned later was dogs bring me the number one joy.
Mm.
And I've loved dogs my whole life. And through that experience, I named her Molly. She brought me back to nature. And dog and nature brought me joy again in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to come back to myself and realize that I feel joy about right here in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And now, for me, every time I look at a dog, I mean, the dog could be in a car and I could be driving by.
Mm-hmm.
That is the number one thing that brings me joy.
Mm-hmm.
And I made that intention in 2007 when I connected back to joy. And I was like, motherfucker. Because I even asked myself, like, what is this feeling I have?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, it's fucking joy. And I was like, holy shit, I've been missing this for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then every day since, I was like, I will find joy every day, at least once a fucking day.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
As simple as thing to
Yeah.
do.
So simple. Yeah. And usually it is simpler than we think.
It is always.
It is. And also sometimes I think we confuse joy with satisfaction, because I think you can feel satisfied in your life. I feel like you can feel even happy in your life, because I do think happy and joy are two different things.
Same.
You can feel good. And I don't also want to say this, like, this is not one of those, I don't like podcasts that are like, I have a real issue with them that are just like fear-based. Like, this is, my intention, and I know it's not yours either, is not to be like, you don't have any joy, you're not aware of your joy. No, this is not what we're trying to do. Like, because I think sometimes we can start to question in a good way and question in a bad way. Like, let's say you are experiencing joy and you really do experience those moments of happiness, and you're listening to this and just resonating with those moments, and you're getting it, and you're like, yes, yes, yes. Like, I don't want you to like question and be like, well, is that really joy? You know, because like,
I don't know. I feel like let's question it, because a lot of people, I work with so many women around the world that are disconnected from joy that this is like an epidemic.
That's not who I'm talking to, though.
Okay,
that's not who I'm talking to, because there are people that are listening to it that might still be connected with joy.
Ooh,
Let's see what the fuck book that was.
I love it. What book?
It just flew off the fucking shelf.
It did.
I guess I'll have to tag him when this comes out, but it's Sacred Powers by David G.
Oh, I haven't read that.
The 5 Secrets to Awakening Transformation. So David G is, he's a meditation expert. I love him. I've listened to him for years. He has a lot of guided meditations on Insight Timer. Lots of beautiful meditations. I would love to train with him one day. He's in Carlsbad, California. Been following for a while. Look at him. He has a dog.
I love it.
Her name is Peaches.
Love Peaches.
He always posts pictures of him like walking Peaches with fun music. Anyway, I'm just gonna have to tag him, and maybe it's a sign for me to reread this book.
Love it.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, who I'm talking to, like, it's like one of those things where, you know, like when you're jumping into like, do I have a gluten intolerance? Because so many, like, people try to fucking scare you with gluten.
Where you're questioning
you're questioning everything. Like, I think people should be questioning things. And if this resonates with you, like, maybe when we're described to us what joy feels like, maybe you don't experience that. But and maybe you're like, well, I've always felt happy, but I've never felt that feeling.
Yeah.
These are the people that we're talking to about it. But I'm not talking to the people that are like, I fucking feel that feeling. I know it. You know, I don't want you to like think we're trying to fucking check your gluten intolerance. You know, like, good for fucking you.
Yeah.
So But yes, if you don't feel that, like when we like describe what joy feels like, this is how we experiencing it. Is you might experience it in a little bit different way, in a different part of your body or whatever.
Well, for sure you will. Like,
But you'll know it. You won't know it.
This is the unique journey to joy, sharing each of our experiences about joy, and then finding out like ways that you can discover and intentionally connect to joy every single day.
Right. And I won't say that I never experienced joy in my life. I've had like the moments that I felt joy are like a lot of times I'll feel joy when listening to music. I'll feel, and I started feeling joy like after I had my children and I would like dance with them to music. I felt very joyful. I don't know that I have been disconnected from joy, but what I have been is unaware of like how it feels in my body. And I've started noticing it a lot more and paying more attention to those moments of joy so I can invite more of them into my life.
And where do you feel in your body?
I feel in the same place, which is why like we do actually have a very similar reaction to the joy, I think, because mine is also feels like my heart is about to burst out of my chest. Or maybe not like my heart, but it's just like I think I described it as like an explosion from the inside. So like it feels like a pressure, but not a pressure on top, a pressure trying to push its way out.
An expansive pressure.
And so that is how I feel it. And I distinctly remember when I moved down to Florida and it was winter time and I was listening to music, my little earbuds, and I was riding my bike. I was on a bike trail, not like in traffic, just so I don't get yelled at by the people telling me not to listen to bikes, not to listen to music while I'm riding my bike. I don't listen to it when I'm on the roads, but I was riding on the trail, listening to my music. I think it was Michael Franti and Spearhead. You know, he's got a lot of his songs are really joyful. And the sun is beaming down on me. I'm riding on this trail next to the water. And I just felt like my chest was going to explode. And I was like, I felt so much joy in that moment because it was like fucking January or February or something. And I'm riding my bike and my chest is exploding. And it was just like, I was smiling at everybody passing. They're probably like, she's like this crazy lady. I'm like, you know, I was just so joyful. And if you have not had that experience, you might feel it in a different place. You might feel it in your gut. You might feel it in your shoulders or even in your head, or, you know, you might feel it from a different place.
Yeah. Everybody experiences it differently.
Yeah. But if you haven't felt something where you felt like, oh my God, this is amazing.
And it's pure.
Yes.
Right. And it's pure.
It's so simple when it gets to you. You're like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Hugs do that for me.
Hugs?
So I have a smile that happens in my heart. That's the best way for me,
yeah,
you know, to describe it, is a smile that happens in my heart. I get it from hugs.
Also, like, sadly, I don't get them from hugs. And so she's always like, can we hug? And I'm like, okay. Hey.
That this morning as we're leading up to the joy, and I was like, oh, it's so funny because our love language is different in that sense.
Very much.
So I will definitely ask for hugs.
Yeah, and I'll give them to you.
Yeah,
and I will put my heart into them. But it's definitely not something that brings me joy.
Yeah. When I did the manifesting course in January, another woman in the course was like, I received them from hugs, received joy from hugs. And I was like, me too. Me too. Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
And so we want to take it back to that pure state. One, and, you know, ways that you can discover your joys is one, like define joy. Like define what fucking joy means to you. And then like close your eyes and think about your definition of joy and take yourself to an experience in your life in reflection of where you experience and define that definition of joy, and take yourself there in reflection and start to breathe in your body and notice where it lands in your body. Where is your body talking to you and be like, this is fucking joy.
Yeah.
Heavy breath.
Because it should be something that you do feel in your body.
You will feel it.
Feel in your
for
body.
sure. You will feel it for sure.
And if you don't, then it's probably not joy. So it might just be happiness or satisfaction. And there's nothing wrong with happiness and satisfaction.
No, because the more that you feel satisfied, the more that you create happiness, it will lead to joy.
Sure.
It will lead to joy for sure.
Yeah. So, but, and also, like, if you haven't experienced joy, don't let this be a negative thing. Like, this is just a curiosity, and it's always curiosity. It's always awareness. It's never judgment. So don't judge yourself because you haven't experienced this. That's not what we're going for here. It's more of a, this is interesting. That sounds like it's an interesting feeling. Have I ever felt that before? Did you feel it when you were a child? Always feel it when you're a child. I mean, not always. Some children have really horrible lives, but most people have felt it at some point when they were a child.
Every child, I believe, no matter our life circumstances, I'd say, we both had a lot of interesting experiences in our childhood.
Yeah.
There is always a moment somewhere where we have felt joy, whether that was consistent or not. So we could also take ourselves back to, like, when I sit in the sun and just feel the sun on me, it's super joyful for me. So taking ourselves back to a moment where we feel that pureness of the ways that we define joy, and then start to notice. And the more that we slow down, we can notice how we feel in our bodies, and then that can guide us to receive more joy.
Yeah. And I think for both of us, you and me, we have created a reality for ourselves that is conducive to feeling joy a lot.
Every motherfucking day.
Yes. And so my question, or I guess what I'm curious about, is, like, what can we do? I know there are probably a lot of people that are listening to this that have happy moments in their lives. Maybe they have a lot of happy moments in their lives. Maybe they're surrounded by their loved ones. Maybe they are surrounded by their pets, or maybe they like their job, or their job satisfies a financial requirement that makes them feel secure and happy and satisfied. But what about if they are going through these the motions of life and feeling happy and satisfied, but they've also realized that they've created a reality for themselves where they don't feel, they aren't regularly feeling joyful.
They're not consistently feeling it.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, and something that I support people to do is find the simplest of things. So for me, the difference of joy and happiness is pure, unconditional everything. It's pure, unconditional everything. There's nothing attached to it. Because sometimes our happiness can be attached to something. It can be attached to a person. It can be attached to money. It can be attached to whatever. For me, joy is living in that unattachment, where you are purely in the moment, and you allow yourself to experience pureness of joy. So ways for you to experience it. Make a list from the simplest things. So I do this a lot with my clients too, actually. So if it's a hug, if it's someone smiling at you, if it's looking at your dog, if it's being in nature, if it's, going out to dinner with your friends,
being in the sunshine, being in the rain, being in the snow,
whatever it is, start writing your list and create, an abundance of things, starting with the simple things, right? Because when I travel, like, I joke, it's like getting up at 6 a.m., not my jam. But for a flight, fuck, man, I'll get up at 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Fucking joy. Like, let's fucking go. And also, right, that is, in reality, I'm not doing that every day. It's not reality. Right. So in reality, what can I create every day? So make the small lists. And then also make the big lists. Make the travel, whatever that is for you that does give you joy. And then every single day, you have your list.
Yeah.
And intentionally seek something out.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
And then
and commit to it.
And commit. And when you do it, let's say it's a hug.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, today I'm going to hug someone and I'm going to experience joy. This is my intention.
Yeah.
So then when I hug that person, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to receive it. And I'm going to remind my brain we're receiving joy right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like the important part of it, I think, is to be aware that it's happening.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then go ahead.
Oh, the more you seek the shit out, the more actually it also will find you.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Law of attraction.
Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You?
I was just going to say that there have been times where I personally, like, you know, you might have a crazy day and you might not intentionally commit or intentionally practice these things. And so when you don't practice these things, when something, even though you've committed to it, your day's gotten away from you, you were so overwhelmed and you're caught up in your emotions, all kinds of things can happen to you to where you step out of your body and out of your intention to where the shit just fucking hits the fan, right? And so maybe you had a day where you could not commit to your joy. My advice for that is to, when you're going to bed at night, just, I try to analyze my day a little bit every time I go to bed. Actually, I do it when I'm in the shower because I give myself like an energy and bath of my day because I don't want to carry any of that into my bed. So I do that in the shower and I analyze my day and then I wash it all away. And when I go to bed, I commit to like a clear head. But when I would in the bed, like I've had days like this where the joy just didn't come. And so you can just choose again. That's the beauty of it. You can just choose again and not beat yourself up for it. And maybe lay in the bed, close your eyes, and just imagine that you did something that day that brought you joy and breathe into that feeling. For me, it's usually just like laying in the sunshine. And so breathe into laying in the sunshine and be like, didn't really get to do this today, but I'm going to connect to that feeling and choose again the next day.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say too. And also with that being saying, like, your action steps do matter because you are responsible for your life.
Yep.
And so if you're setting that intention to get joy and then one day, right, you didn't get it. The next day again, you didn't get it. The next day again, you didn't get it.
Well, now you're creating a pattern.
And now you're in a pattern.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So there is a fine line of, yes, I'm going to give myself grace. And also, yes, I'm going to take the action steps to support my intention of getting joy, finding joy, receiving joy.
For sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But also we're human and sometimes shit hits the fan and but I think the purpose of it is being very intentional of not just paying attention and being like, okay, that didn't happen today. And I've made a commitment. So tomorrow I'm going to choose again and recommit back to that.
Yeah. Because on a cellular level, making promises to yourself and keeping them, that's the difference.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's hear, we'd love to hear from you, commenting on our YouTube, listening on our podcast, emailing us.
Email you're so enlightened at gmail.com. You're as in YOURE, SO enlightened, ENLIGHTENED. Fucking Google it. JFGI.
I love it.
Google it.
Love it.
So
let's hear, because I would love to find out more ways that people are experiencing joy.
Yeah.
I believe that, we all have these unique gifts for us and the way that we experience ourselves in the world. And we share that with the world makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I love it because the more joyful we can be, the more, we're just spreading the light. You just spread it. Yeah. You just radiate it.
And we're changing the vibration of the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Today is a shorty little episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shorty and goody.
Yeah.
We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching us on YouTube. Please subscribe. Listening to us on Apple or Spotify. You can connect with me. I am JeanieBaker.com. Intuitive Soul Coaching and Retreats on Facebook and social media on Instagram. And I'm also doing an upcoming 4-week online course, Intuition Unleashed. So I'm calling out all the seekers of truth and clarity to really tap into your intuitive gifts, to deepen your relationship with your intuition and maybe unlock your intuition. So definitely, I have a promo too. Yeah. It ends on Monday, so holler.
Yeah. And you can find me at Robbin Webb, ROBBIN_WEBB on Instagram, and then Robbin Webb on Facebook. And you can also find more information about Solstice, our retreat property, solsticepg.com. The dog just rolled into the tripod. I have moved a little bit, but that's how you can find more information about me. And yep, thank you guys again for tuning in. We love each and every one of you and really appreciate you tuning in and listening to us.
Have a beautiful day. Ciao.